Hey, I'm here to talk about the health of your downstairs. Your hoo-ha, to be specific. Not all trans men have a bonus hole, but if you do, you're gonna want to keep it healthy, because, itching, inflamed, God knows what, not anything anyone wants. So if you ever read the book Stone Butch Blues, you know some good advice for those who are hormonally more male than their lower anatomy is yogurt every day, live and active cultures. I recommend it. I do it. Not that it'll solve all your problems, but it'll help in the microbial battle for equilibrium and health. That's one thing, yogurt every day. Number 2, if you ever watched YouTube or if you've taken testosterone yourself, you know that it's not that uncommon to find yourself jerking off like half a dozen times a day. I just know it's not that uncommon. And it's also not that uncommon to dry up a little downstairs. And that combination means that either you're going to be like chafing or you're going to be using some kind of lubricant. They did a study a while ago that said yeast infections are much more common among people who use saliva as a lubricant. So I recommend not using saliva. An alternative, of course, is to use something store-bought. Something like this lubricating jelly, or presumably the same as KY jelly. The problem with something like this, besides that often it's derived from petroleum and it might throw off your pH more than otherwise would be, is that often the water-based ones contain glycerin, and glycerin is unfortunately candida yeast food. You don't want to be feeding your vaginas yeast infections. So the other thing I want to recommend is coconut oil. This is not just for people who jerk off a lot. If you are looking to maximize the growth of your God-given phallus, you really ought to be pumping. And if you're pumping, you really ought to be using lubricant. And coconut oil, long-lasting, yet absorbs into your body eventually without getting stuck anywhere. And it doesn't feed yeast, and it in fact has some antifungal properties. So please don't use store-bought whatever if you can manage. Coconut oil. Some say oil-based lubricants are not good for use with condoms, so there's disagreement about that, but I recommend not using with condoms just to be on the safe side. But yes, if you have to jerk off or pump, please use something that doesn't have glycerin in it, and definitely not saliva. That's all I wanted to say.